So it's official that the political class are coming together and joining hands. It's official. It's us against the political class, which are coming together, regrouping, preparing themselves for the 2027 elections. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this. So today, by the time I'm shooting this, the president did some few appointments and reassignment of the cabinet secretaries' positions, and I'm going to talk about this in a short time. In the meantime, welcome to the Uncut with Dex. If you're new here, kindly like, subscribe, share it to a friend. Here we talk about politics, we give out our honest opinions about political issues. Sometimes I do it alone, like today. Other times I invite other people. Make sure you go through our channel, check out what we post. So today I'm going to talk about the cabinet secretary's appointment and what this means to Kenyans, because it's quite important for people to know that this is a declaration by the political class. It's an official declaration by the political class that it is official that it is us against the political class. By saying us, I mean the people, because let's go through the people who have been appointed first and the people and one significant person who has been reassigned. So we have three significant people that I'm going to talk about. First being Mutahi Kagwe, who is now the cabinet secretary of agriculture and livestock. The Honorable Kinyanjui, who is now the cabinet secretary of trade. And we have William Kabogo, who is now the cabinet secretary of ICT. Then we have one Kipchumba Murkomen, who has been reappointed. I mean, this guy gets reappointed every single time. So he has been reappointed from the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs into the Ministry of Cabinet, the Ministry of Interior. So why am I saying that the political class have come together and reunited? So let me start by Mutahi Kagwe. We all know that the President Ruto drove all the way to Gatundu to meet the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. And without a doubt, one of the few things they discussed about was this Mutahi Kagwe position for him to be a cabinet secretary. He was formerly the cabinet secretary of health in Kenya during Uhuru's time. Did he do a good job during that time? No, he didn't do a good job. What those guys did during Uhuru's time was they brought a couple of Chinese in our airport. At that time, almost every single part of the world had locked down their airports to countries like China. So they brought a couple of Chinese into the country in order for them to infect the people so that they can receive the bloody donations from other countries. And that's what happened. These people got millions of money from this. They became the COVID-19 billionaires. Now we have him here as our cabinet secretary of agriculture. And you ask why he's here. He was here during the time of the vaccines. Now he's brought as a cabinet secretary of agriculture. What is going to stop this Mutahi Kagwe from working with Bill Gates to bring the vaccines that they want to bring to our cattle? I mean, he did a really good job bringing the COVID-19 vaccines and making us lock down our country. What's going to stop him from doing the same thing again? So I believe that is one of the things they had discussed with the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, and it shows that the political class is regrouping together, and they're regrouping for 2027s. Critics also claim that one of the reasons they met was because Uhuru Kenyatta wants his brother to come to politics in 2032. So they're just having deals together with Ruto. So this is one of the fruits of the deals they allegedly had. So we have Kinyanjui, who is the former governor of Nakuru. I'm not going to talk about Lee. He isn't significant that much. Probably he was awarded that position because of his ethnic tribe. We're going to talk about William Kabogo and why he has come back to the cabinet secretary. So aside from William Kabogo, we have other people who are appointed in different positions. Go through the list and you'd see the tribalism in this list. It's only dominated by you know how many tribes that are going to dominate here. 2 tribes. I've mentioned this before in my podcast. I've mentioned it before openly, and I've declared that Kenyan the Kenyan government usually appoints this position based on tribal merits, nothing else. So go through the list, you'd see that this is William Ruto trying to get back to Mount Kenya. There's a lot of Mount Kenya appointments, Mutahi, Kagwe, there's a lot of them. Just go through the list. I'll publish it here on the channel. I don't want to read all the bloody names here, but I'll publish it so that you can see that this is clearly an attempt to go back to Mount Kenya, because the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was wild, because it made the president lose his popularity on that region. So he thought bringing Kithure Kindiki would work, but it hasn't worked at all. It hasn't worked. His plan was to try and divide the mountain, making the eastern side and the western side split, thus ensuring him that he would win without them. But his plan failed terribly, because Kithure Kindiki doesn't bring any significant vote. He's not popular at all. He's only popular in his Tharaka Nithi region, and he hasn't done anything significant. So Ruto had to do this entire card. I don't think it's going to work like most of his plans. I don't think it's going to do anything significant to Kenyan politics. But let's talk about Kipchumba Murkomen being the Cabinet Secretary of Interior. So clearly we have seen him bringing the loyal people. Under the Ministry of Defense, we have you know who. And under here now, the Ministry of Interior, we have Kipchumba Murkomen. The 2 people who are closer to him. And that shows you how much these guys are preparing for 2027, because it won't be easy with his acquaintance, his friend, his loyalist. This person can do anything for William Ruto, and we have him as the Cabinet Secretary of Interior now. Without saying anything, you can just tell that this is preparation for 2027. Already they're bringing certain bills that are going to affect the election, like the election amendment bill, which aims at stopping live streaming of election results by IEBC. Then we have another bill that has already been passed. I don't know if you're aware of that. We have another bill that has been passed by the cabinet to allow a president who is elected to automatically be a president without the need of transferring powers. What do I mean by that? So before this implementation of this new bill, before someone became the president, from being the president-elect, they had to go through swearing in and later on receive the instruments of power, the constitution, the sword, which represents being the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. But they've already made that not a requirement. So immediately you are president-elect, and automatically the time for your inauguration reaches, you don't need to attend that thing. You only need to be president-elect. What does this mean to the Kenyan election? It means that all you have to do is rig an election, and if the ground is hostile, if the ground is too hostile for you to attend that inauguration, you can just sit in your comfortable house, which is the house on the hill, which is protected by police and the army, and just wait for you to become the commander-in-chief again. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make us, they're trying to become the president by force. And that happened during 2007. A president was elected in sort of a confined place. It wasn't the normal public swearing in as it usually happens. So right now they're trying to make it even more sophisticated by making sure that you can become a president when your time for swearing in reaches, you don't even need to do anything. You just have to be there and you'll be a president. So this for me is a preparation of the 2027 elections. All these cabinet secretary appointments that have happened, you can clearly tell they're all political, and their motive is bringing all the politicians together from the opposition down to the former government to come together for one purpose of politicians uniting against Kenyans. And for me, the only thing that can save Kenyans right now, if we also united, put our differences aside, our tribal issues aside, and united together for a common cause. So the reason why politicians are doing these tribal appointments is because they want to spark that tribalism in you, a Kenyan. They want to make you get tribal, because if me, who is a Lui, I see this tribal appointment, they want to make us angry. They want to make us go back to our tribal politics. But the only way we are getting out of this problem that the politicians are trying to bring to us is by us uniting together. Just as the political class is uniting, putting their differences aside, the people also need to unite together in one common cause, or rather for one common cause of making sure that we take our country back from the oppressors, back from the people who are trying to steal from it. And that's the only way. There's no other way. There's no other way but people coming together for one good cause to change this country.